Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California this lovely Sunday morning. I hope you are having a great morning. Man, we have got so much to talk to you about. How about Dorado in the surf down there in Cabo San Lucas? And yes, we're catching bluefin tuna in Southern California, and it's only February. That line of yellowtail we continue to see pushing up the Baja coast into Southern California waters. That's looking good. There's been barracuda, a couple of 30-pound plus halibut in Southern California, as the halibut bite has been outstanding. Some good bass fishing. The surf has been alive. Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming. It's wintertime, isn't it? Yeah, no. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good? Man, it is so good. And I hope to see a whole mess of you down here in just a little bit. We'll be here in Surfside, California, doing a surf fishing event. It's kind of a meet and greet while we get to catch fish. And with this going on, you got to think that there's going to be some really good fishing down here. So I've got my fingers crossed that we're going to catch a halibut, some yellowfin croaker, some barred perch, and who knows what else, but for sure, limits of good times. That's what I am expecting here this morning. Once again, if you'd hit that like button, I would deeply appreciate it. It means so much to us here at Friedman Adventures. Share these videos with a friend. And also, if you tick the bell, you'll be notified when there's new content. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Leave a comment. That always helps us a great deal. Also, and don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, on Facebook, and Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Almost forgot all the venues we're on. Hey, it is great to be with you all. Man, we've got a lot to talk to you about. It's an incredible day today here on Sunday. And this day, the surf fishing is going to be absolutely fantastic. Tomorrow night, we are live with Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle, where we are going to debut the new Daiwa Lexa 500. You'll get to see it first on Tackle Shop Confessions right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, 6 p.m. live Monday night. I can't wait to show you this brand new beautiful reel. It's going to be something indeed. And if you want to be part of our studio audience, that's right, you can come down to Island Fishing Tackle Monday night about 5:30 in the afternoon would be perfect. Some of the guys that are coming are already bringing chicken wings and all kinds of stuff, so it sounds like a party to me. If you want to bring some food, if you don't want to bring some food, if you just want to come down and see the reel, be there about 5:30 at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California, and it would be great to see you there, and it'd be great to have you as part of our studio audience for Monday evening. Folks, we've got way too much to talk to you about, so let's jump into it. Cabo Surfcaster, he's a great guy. Man, he had 3 Dorado surf fishing yesterday. You tell me that is not a thrill. Catching flatheads in the surf in Cabo San Lucas, does it get any better than that? We continue to see some striped marlin there in the Cabo San Lucas area for the boats that are out fishing, and beyond that, a little bit further offshore, some yellowfin tuna, and as evidence, they're even catching Dorado in the surf right now. That is absolutely phenomenal, incredible stuff going on. The San Quintin area, we have got to talk yellows down there. They are biting really well now, and in addition to that, you have the rockfish and everything else, but just great fishing going on the Yellowtail. Chief Lo Flores from Tiburon Pongas with some great yellowtail action yesterday. Outstanding forkage action. And of course, there's a flow that's moving toward Southern California. It's just great the way the yellowtail situation looks this year. K&M Sport Fishing bouncing yellowtail on board their rig down there. That is exciting stuff. And man, I'll tell you, there's a lot of forkage down there, but it's also up there around Santo Tomas, which is 85 miles down below the border. Right there in that area, we saw some good fishing for several of the Ensenada-based boats. It's not a very long run for them. And there's some forkies around Todos Santos Island, which is a stone's throw from Ensenada. A little bit better down the Baja coast, but excellent fishing going on. And my dear friend, Albert Ponce, he's leaving this morning, heading out with Victor from Blackfin Sport Fishing. They had yellows at Blackfin Sport Fishing, as you can see. Really nice hit on superior grade yellows. These yellows this year have all been nice fish. I don't see too much under 18 pounds, and you get them up into the 30-pound class, and that is some really good stuff. Baja Fishing and Diego Puentes with Ensenada Yellowtail. So it is looking really, really good right now, and just continues to head in the right direction. Remember, when you yo-yo an iron, you're fishing a heavy jig that you're sinking deep, you're winding on fast, and you set the hook by turning the handle. Just keep grinding until the fish pulls line against the drag. You've got them at that point, and you can fight them. These fish are not line shy at all. I wouldn't fish anything less than 60 pound if I'm heading down to Ensenada, or I'm fishing them in La Jolla, or anywhere else for that matter. Now, I like fishing heavy line, so you may want to back off a little bit, but I would not do anything less than 60 pound on especially this superior grade of yellowtail. It is really big and nice stuff, so keep that in mind. Long range situation, Royal Polaris has pointed it back home. That's several fish up over 200 pounds, but the yellowfin tuna bite overall has been on the tougher side for the great big yellowfin tuna, and it's been that way for, I want to say, a couple of weeks. Could be wrong on that, but I think it's been a couple of weeks. They've also caught their share of wahoo, and they had a lot of reef fish on that latest Royal Polaris trip. But overall, things have been tough for those 16-day trips if you're focused on catching one of those giant yellowfin tuna. So that has continued that trend. But fishing, you know how it is, man. A light switch flips, and you're off to the races and catching really great fish. So hopefully that is going to be the situation as we continue to watch it very, very closely. And the birds are tearing up the surf. It's looking really, really good. Can't wait to check this out in just a little bit. Now, in addition, folks, we are watching the situation on the local situation in Southern California. I'm going to get into that because we've had halibut, sand bass. We've got all kinds of great stuff going on. But first, it is tax season. You know what that means. You want to get that burden off your shoulders. And there's nobody better to do it with than our friend Tim Marquez at A Best Income Tax. Give him a call today, and he will relieve that burden from your shoulders. Also, heating and air conditioning needs, you turn to John Lopez, and John will do a fabulous job for you. Great family man, hard-working guy, and he knows exactly how to cure your ailments when it comes to heating and air conditioning. Give John a call today. All right, let's start kind of geographically down in San Diego and talk a little bit about the sand bass bite down there, because it's been really, really good. This wintertime sand bass bite has been phenomenal. We saw the premier half-day trip yesterday in the morning with 70-plus sand bass. A nice hit from them. I just talked to Scott Buchert on the Mission Bell. He said it was a little scratchier for them. They had 20-something sand bass and some whitefish and sculpin and stuff like that. But overall, it's been a pretty darn good bite. 15, 20 pounds seems to be good. And depending upon wind and current and depth, you're fishing like anywhere from a 4-ounce sinker to sometimes a 6, not very often, and then sometimes just a little sliding egg sinker when you're in the shallower areas. Choosing a good hot bait when you're fishing a sardine is essential to your success, so keep that in mind. But there's been some fish on the plastics as well as on the squid, so we've seen some pretty darn good fishing going on. No question about that. Elsewhere, as we move you up the line a little bit, the Patriot out of Newport Landing, Davies Locker, boats out of Dana Wharf. Those guys are scratching at the sculpin and the whitefish. That has been what they have been up to here recently. So again, there's plenty of whitefish and that kind of thing going on. It wouldn't surprise me to see a wintertime hit of either barracuda or yellows the way this whole season is progressing ahead of schedule. It just seems to be really moving ahead quickly. Even with the storms we've experienced, it has not slowed this down one bit at all. El Nino, man, that's what's going on now. We will transition into that cold water later on in the year, and we'll see what that does to our fishery. It's just setting up for an enigmatic future, and I love that, man. The mystery of it all is so intriguing here in SoCal and northern Baja for this year. Hey, a reminder, the Pomona Boat Show, the Bart Hall Show, March 1st through the 3rd at the Pomona Fairplex. They're going to have so many boats, it will blow your mind. Make sure you check that out. All right, so we've got that mix of fish. Now, March the 1st is when we are going to have Sheephead open up again. Sheephead, I should say. I've been calling him Sheephead for 60 years, so I'm trying to stop that. Sheephead is going to open up here. Rockfish is closed in Southern California right now. It opens up on April the 1st. Now, the Victory at Long Beach Sport Fishing is putting together a little Sheephead derby that's going to, well, why don't I let Captain Phil tell you all about it. He was at Young's Fishing Tackle. He'll tell you all about this derby that's coming up and talk to you about the right way to rig as well as the bait, the secret bait that's going to catch you more goats than you could ever imagine. Phil, take it away.
We're going to run this tournament from March 1st to the 31st. It's obviously going to be the contest for the biggest fish and weight. So we're still going to run a jackpot. Your admission on the boat is going to get you into the tournament. We'll have a bunch of prizes listed on longbeachsportfishing.com and the Victory Sport Fishing Instagram and Facebook page. Very, very simple with sheephead fishing. We like to fish from a 4 to an 8 ounce sinker. Normally 4 to 6 is going to be perfect. Size 2 hooks. I know a lot of guys like fishing a circle hook. Not really my thing. I like a size 2 hook. Shrimp is very, very important. It's a reverse dropper loop. We're using Spectra to show you just because you're not going to be able to see the mono. What you want is your sinker laying right on the bottom. We're going to be fishing structure, kelp, hard bottoms, and that shrimp's going to be flowing with the current, just kind of chilling there above the rocks, and hopefully come up with some nice sheephead. Very important. This time of year we get our reservations in so we can book online, or you guys can give Long Beach Sport Fishing a call. Hope to see you guys out there. It's going to be a pretty good tournament. Thank you, Kevin, for helping us out with some donations and Island Tackle and all the Eldorado Sport Fishing, and quite a few names to be thanked, but I want to thank everybody for helping us out. And it's our first one, and let's see how it goes, and maybe this will be the ongoing future for us.
All right, thank you so much, Captain Phil. That sounds like a great idea, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Back to the halibut situation, and we've got to turn to the native sun. They have been all over. 2 fish over 30 pounds, 8 fish total, and it was just another really great day to be fishing on the native sun. They have had an incredible run. They're also doing simultaneously a bass fishing derby with that, so they've had some bass. In fact, they've passed some really good bass fishing up to focus in on the halibut. That's what everybody's really into right now, the halibut. So they've got 4 fish over 30 pounds this year, which is an amazing stat if you ask me. 18 over 20, great fishing on board the native sun. It doesn't get much better. That 3-way swivel is what they like with 25-pound test, 4 to 6 ounces of weight. You choose a really good hot bait. Most times you're fishing sardine. Sometimes they'll break out some fresh dead squid, frozen squid to fish with. Also, some guys have caught them on the flukes, but mostly on the fin bait. That has probably been the best way to go. And a treble hook, like a 4 to 6, number 4 to 6 treble hook is also a good idea. The other area, or the other boat that's been very hot, is the Aloha Spirit. Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard. Yesterday, they had some very good fishing indeed on the Aloha Spirit, catching 5 halibut. They also had 24 calico bass, and they had limits on the whitefish. So some pretty darn good fishing up there on the Aloha Spirit. Local anglers, guys that are private boaters, have been doing great this year. Tom Troop out, just putting a hurt on the spotted bay bass. Beautiful photography and nice going. Logan Flaxton, he was out with our friend Wendy Toshihara from Iserline, and they had some really good halibut fishing. I don't know how you can beat that, as that was really excellent. And these birds are going insane because my chum bucket that I brought in here for you guys is working really, really well. Really great stuff going on. In the surf, we've seen nothing short of really good fishing and good stuff going on. Steve Hebert, fishing Bolsa Chica, good barred perch fishing for him. Anthony Armijo with a legal halibut that he released so he can go home and eat catfish. What's wrong with you, Anthony? Marcos Estrada fishing Bolsa Chica with yellowfin croaker and barred perch. Sounds good for our Sunday morning fishing. And Skylar DeLong, big slab barred perch down there on Dog Beach and Huntington Beach. His personal best. Congratulations. I don't know how it can get much better than that. And lobster fishing, really great. You know, after you have inclement weather, many times you'll get back to some outstanding fishing, and we certainly are seeing that. The hoop netting on your Promar Ahi fishing or hoop netting lobster update report, whatever it is. I got to come up with a name and then just stick to it. Steve Oropeza from Promar. I will do that very, very soon. Anyway, really good hoop netting going on. It's been great. Paul Sabeski had easy limits. Several other boats that have been fishing limits. That's 7 lobster per hoop netter, and man, that is some good eating stuff, no question about that. All right, we're going to continue to watch this very closely. The Alexa 500 debut island fishing tackle. You want to sit in the comfort of your own home, you can do that. We're live at 6 p.m. from Island Fishing Tackle Monday evening. Or if you want to come down and be part of our studio audience and have some fun, bring some food if you want. Don't bring some food. I mean, we'll turn it into a big party down there. Remember, I'm a carnivore. Well, that was bad, wasn't it? Hey, have a great one. I will have video from our Sunday surf fishing day. It should be a lot of fun. As always, I can't thank you enough. We got so many great signals and signs going on. I love the bluefin tuna situation going on down there around Punta Colinet. We continue to see really good activity down there. The Pacific Dawn, 5 bluefin tuna fishing Colinet, and it doesn't get much better than that, including a 70-pound BFT. Man, that is an early sign on those bluefin tuna. It's only February, and once again, it bodes so well for our 5-day trip on board the Independence. We're going to be going April 4th through the 9th. Now we've got bluefin tuna already being taken. The Mexican seiners reached their quota by the middle of January, and the Dawn making the catch yesterday down there at Colinet, 120 miles below the border, and it's hard to find those fish when you're that lone boat, so there may be a lot more. In fact, I guarantee you there's a lot more bluefin tuna lurking around. It should be good. You add in that yellowtail, and we are really set for a great one. Remember, again, you can book that trip by going to www.independentsportfishing.com or go by the PCS show, stop by the Independence booth, and make sure you say hi to Paulina and sign up for our great 5-day trip. It's going to be a great one. All right, everybody, have a great one. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Hey, good evening, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California for a special Friedman Adventures Sundown special update, because we've got to get a lot of info out to you all. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Share this video, and of course, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick the bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It is a gorgeous evening here, and as you can see, I have imported the Chum Machine here to Surfside for our surf fishing event tomorrow morning right here in Surfside, California. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see your smiling faces bright and early tomorrow morning. That's going to be a lot of fun. But the reason for this evening update, there's several reasons, but the one I want to hone in on right now with you is, of course, bluefin tuna being taken by San Diego-based boats for the first time this year. Of course, we had an idea that bluefin were around when the Mexican seiner fleet reached their quota. They were done in the middle of January. It took them a couple of weeks here in 24 to hit their quota, so we surmised from that there was bluefin around. Now, several boats are going down the Baja coast, and they're fishing Punta Colinet right now. That is 120 miles down below the border. And in that area, they catch copious amounts of beautiful lingcod and rockfish. And the Pacific Dawn had all of that and more. Also had some great yo-yo iron yellowtail fishing. Not a ton of yellows, but enough to make it interesting. You have the rockfish, you have the yellows, and now you add the bluefin tuna. The last time we checked on them, they had 5 bluefin tuna, one of those fish 70 pounds, and that is what I call absolutely fantastic news. It's February, for God's sakes, and we're catching bluefin tuna now, $1.20 down the Baja coast, and that may be the tip of the iceberg. It is really difficult. My hat's off to everybody on the Pacific Dawn for finding those fish. It is really difficult to be the lone boat looking for that bluefin and then finding it. That really says a lot about that boat and operation and crew. So that is all really excellent, and I am so stoked that they were able to come up with that. We are going to be watching this very, very closely for you because, as I said, this may be the tip of the iceberg. There may be nuggets of fish down there that are more dense. There may be fish in other areas. This is just going to unfold now as we move deeper into spring, get out of winter, and man, what a year it's going to be. And I have to tell you, I am so stoked. My son Philip saw this also, and he called me up and he goes, Dad, our 5-day trip on the Independence, April 4th through the 9th, is looking so good. And I said, you got it, man. We got yellows, we got bluefin. God knows what else is going to happen. And you know, we are in an El Nino right now. We're going to transition into that really cold water. Pretty substantial La Nina later on, late spring or summer, something like that. But for now, we still have a little bit warmer than usual water temperatures. And of course, this bluefin, again, is no big surprise, but it's a welcome sight. And I'm so happy to see the Dawn putting that score together. So once again, we'll continue to watch that 5-day trip. www.independencesportfishing.com. Would love you to sign up, and don't forget the PCS show is coming up. You'll be able to go to the Independence booth, see Paulina and all the great folks there like Paul Strasser and Mark Paisano, and ask them about the Friedman Adventure 5-day trip. Jump on board that one. It's going to be a fabulous trip. Now, I'm also tracking yellows, and I have been for quite some time with each and every one of you who are familiar with our morning show, the morning briefing. Every single morning we see those, or we give you a synopsis of what's going on from Mexico all the way up to the Channel Islands. And I've got to tell you, we continue to see here today some really good yellowtail action. Yellows down there in San Quintin, 140 miles below the border. We saw them caught today there at Colonet by the Pacific Dawn. We saw fish up there at Santo Tomas today. Ensenada-based pongas and six-packs were down in that neck of the woods, and there was yellowtail taken near Ensenada. We see that line of forky, and it wasn't that long ago, man, that we saw fish on La Jolla also. Mikey from SD Fish and Sips had a shot of those big yellows in an incredible show on La Jolla. Big, fat yellows. I think he said his biggest fish was 32 pounds. And man, if you haven't watched that podcast, you need to go back and check that out. I know you are going to love that. Really great stuff. So tracking that yellowtail also. And I need to tell you also that on the Native Sun, last time we checked on them, 2 fish today, over 30 pounds, incredible stuff. They have 4 in their derby that are over 30, 18 over 20, 100 legal fish. Tremendous fishing on the Native Sun there out of 22nd Street Landing. And then I take you up to Ventura, and I got to tell you, Cody Rogers took the Island Spirit out to give the boat a shakedown today, and they had some nice big fat sand bass up in that neck of the woods. And Ventura Sport Fishing, check this out. If you book a trip before April 1st and you put the code in, pre-season 20, book a trip with Ventura Sport Fishing before April 1st, put in pre-season 20, 20% off your ticket. Take a look at your calendar, jump on board the Island Spirit, jump on board the California, and if the Endeavor has any room, which I highly doubt because Tucker McCombs cranks it up every single year and just does not have room on that rig. If he does, you can book those trips by going to Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing website, so check that out. All right, it is a beautiful evening, and man, the birds, they're going crazy back there because my chum bucket that I imported, very expensive to get this kind of machinery in here, but for our surf fishing little get together tomorrow morning, I decided to do just that for you all. Of course, this is pumping sand from offshore onto our beach, but in there are worms and mussels and all kinds of stuff. By the way, big fish, bait and tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right there on the corner of PCH and Seal Beach Boulevard. They'll knock 10% off any item that is not on sale tomorrow morning until 12 noon for the Friedman Adventures surf fishing event. We've only had 48 hours to promote it, so I'm not sure how many people are going to show up, but of course I'll be videotaping it and have that all for you here with a gorgeous, beautiful sunset. It can't get any lovelier than it is. Bluefin tuna, yellowtail. We've seen good barracuda fishing down there around Santo Tomas and Ensenada. It definitely is an early spring that is going on here, and it all bodes well for the 2024 season. Incredible halibut stuff going on the Native Sun. The Pride got in today to 22nd Street with 14 halibut with our friend Joe Lee Thompson and Israel de la Cruz. Izzy coming up with his first 2 halibut, including the jackpot fish. There is so much going on for the dead of winter. It is really great. Hey, I can't thank you for dropping in here this evening. The morning briefing tomorrow morning will be action-packed, and I'll be standing right here, right around here, everybody. That's what you're looking for, okay? I can't guarantee it'll be pumping tomorrow morning, but that's what you're looking for. Down here toward the jetty, we should have some really extraordinary fishing tomorrow morning. Take care. Have a